Well, I want to start and thank you for giving Auto Agentic a try. I know for a lot of people, getting started in AI can feel a little daunting, a little overwhelming. We want to make that go away. We want this to be not only an easy demonstration of how to use AI in your dealership, we want you to be really comfortable. So what we're going to do is we're going to use this time to try to demonstrate who you have available at your fingertips in terms of our 10 agents, but also how to get the most out of our system. I really want to stress though, we're here for you. And anything that you need, we are going to be able to help you, whether you want to email us, whether you want to set up a meeting, whether you want to have an educational webinar for your dealership and your team. We'll make it happen. At the end of the day, AI is transforming very quickly, and that means we need to work together to get the most out of it. And we're willing to do that. So we're here as partners. We're here to help educate you in terms of what we know, and we hope that you're going to educate us on different ways that you're utilizing our system as well as other AI applications, and to be able to work together to start to co-develop new opportunities of how AI can improve our day-to-day situations and what we're doing inside of our dealership. So let's get started. Who you have at your fingertips, literally in terms of AI agents. So, what are our different AI agents? First, each of the agents that I'm going to walk you through really are agents specifically trained at a very, very deep level in terms of very specific job tasks, certain knowledge that's going to be really, really critical for you to be able to tap into for whether it's a dealership, whether it's an OEM, and regardless of what your position is within the dealership, you're going to actually be able to utilize a lot of these agents collectively together. Doesn't matter if you're in finance, if you're in sales, if you're in service, if you're in F&I, general operations, etc. So let me walk you through first and foremost. We're going to start with Susan. Susan's a sales manager. She can do everything from helping you respond to leads. She can help you establish and better understand product knowledge. She can help you in terms of understanding not only how to respond to leads, but you can actually customize based on the specific individual. If you give Susan a little bit of information about who that individual is. So things like what city is the customer from? Are they a parent? Are they younger, etc.? The responses are going to be customized literally to that individual persona and localized to that individual area. So there's a lot that you're going to be able to do with Susan that you can start to explore, and I think you can be pretty impressed with. Then we have Ben. Ben's our budget and forecasting analyst. Now, one of the things you're going to notice as we go further in, there's plugins to each of our agents. So things like Perplexity. What's Perplexity? It's a deep, deep research function. It's far deeper, far stronger than Google. In fact, Perplexity makes Google look like you're interacting with a 3-year-old. The level of detail that it's going to be able to pull back out. And this plus the interactive canvas calculator render chart allows Ben to be able to do deep analytics when it has to do with finance, anything budgeting, things of that nature. So if you're a salesperson, you're looking at forecasting, you're looking at doing different information. If you're actually involved in finance, there's a whole host of different things that you can do. And one of the things that's going to be important to note, if you go down here into the area and you hit at, you're going to see it pulls up all of our agents. So one of the things that you can do, let's say that you're a sales manager, you can literally ask Ben to work with at, and what will end up happening is you can attach them to the sales manager and literally ask them to work together, for instance, to create a training program so that your salespeople understand the importance of finance and what their decisions in terms of F&I inventory, etc., how sales actually impacts not only their own personal compensation, but also impacts departmental and the overall financial benefits in terms of profitability, et cetera, for the rooftop overall. So that's Ben. And we get into Zoe. Zoe is an incredible data analyst. And this comes in really, really handy. Let's say that you wanted to input survey information, or you've got general reporting, regardless of what department that you're working with. It will pull in information from your DMS, from your CRM, whether you have Excel reporting. You can literally take a CSV file, an Excel file, you can take a PDF, insert it right into the chat, and Zoe's going to be able to start to analyze it, provide key insights, provide recommendations, provide details. And you're going to be able to even go and you can take existing templates of reporting that you have, add those, and have Zoe mirror those reports as well. Next, we're going to have Aaron, who's our HR expert. Aaron is fantastic in terms of creating training programs. So you can have onboarding training programs. If you're looking to hire, you can download all of the different CVs and resumes and have Aaron, based on what you're looking for, start to go through all of them on her own and be able to recommend and give you a matrix of the pros and cons of each of the candidates and select, say, the top 10 to initially review. You can also sit down and use Aaron for developing and overseeing different contracts, all HR paperwork, all sorts of information relating to training programs and establishing training programs. So there's no end in terms of what you're going to be able to do with that. Alex is our growth marketing strategist. Alex is going to be great when it comes down to literally creating marketing materials, creating sales materials, being able to provide who your ideal customer profiles are, being able to even analyze. If you take information of your existing customers, download that, we'll start to be able to say, here are the key locations, whether it's postal codes, whether it's zip codes, and start to make recommendations of not only who are additional areas that match those, but you can start to even get into having it create specialized and localized marketing programs. And that's just a start. Then you've got Magnus, who's a business systems analyst and standard operating procedure SOP designer. So if you're looking at creating SOPs in terms of how people should be taking in walk-in clients or internet leads, or how to start to create SOPs in service or in any other function, it's absolutely amazing. And Magnus can also start to analyze and take a look at your overall systems within the dealership, within the rooftop, and start to help you to optimize, which is, again, just a small fraction of what you're able to do. Sienna is an event planner. So whether you're looking for a weekend event, whether you're looking for a month-long event, whether you're looking for an anniversary event, literally, you're going to be able to use Sienna to be able to help you plan it, to help you organize it, to help you figure out what are backups in terms of, let's say it's an outdoor event. What are you going to do if it ends up raining? There's anything involving event planning, you can turn to Sienna. Then you've got Alyssa, who's our project manager. Alyssa, whether you're taking a look at creating an entirely new dealership as a rooftop, you might be a group, maybe you're building a new one, or any other project management that you're going to need, you're going to be able to turn to Alyssa, and she'll be able to help you to get everything set up, including pre-planning, initial planning, risk assessments, and then all the different execution, including right up to launch, right through to post-launch. Mira is a simple meeting summarizer. So let's say that you're recording a meeting, you can just drop everything down into Mira and she'll be able to get all of that assessed, break that down, and now you're going to be able to have very, very quick understanding of what were the key next steps, what are the key areas that you need to have had highlighted as a result of that meeting. And then Jesse, this is very interesting, is a legal assistant. Jesse can help you not only evaluate contracts, but let's say that you need to update your terms and conditions on your website, or you're taking a look at uh, um, any contracts or any other pieces of information where you might need to get some legal advice. And we're not suggesting you use Jesse as a substitute for a lawyer, but what you can do is use Jesse for being able to ask a lot of different questions without being on the clock with the lawyer, use that to get a bunch of different perspectives. And Jesse will even cite case law when it comes down to certain aspects that you might be discussing. So it might be that you've got some employee issues, or it might be even more specific, getting down into there might be some allegations or whatever against an individual or the rooftop overall. What you're going to be able to do is start to work with Jesse to get at least a cursory understanding, and quite frankly, an in-depth understanding of what are the risks, what should you be considering, and then you can take that to a lawyer. Or if you're just simply reviewing things like your terms and conditions, you can go straight on to Jesse and literally rewrite all of those. And then you could have Jesse work with Alex, our marketing person, to create consumer friendly versions of your terms and conditions. Now, those are the 10 agents that you currently have available. We are adding. What you're going to want to be able to do is just play, ask questions, ask what it is that you'd like to have, but don't be afraid to ask the agents, what else should I be considering? Treat it as a conversation. What you have are 10 people that are your team now assigned to you, and they are available to you 24/7, and they have no attitude, they have no ego, and they want to help you. So they are deeply, deeply trained, each of them to the equivalent of almost a master's degree, but working as your interns, your personal assistants to help you get whatever tasks that you need to get done. So don't be afraid to ask them what are key information that I haven't considered or that I should be considering, or how else can you help me? And you're going to start to get into a rhythm and feel a lot more comfortable in terms of how you can start to interact with each of these agents. Now, here's a really important thing. Want you to go up into this little area up here, and you're going to see that there's different chat profiles. Now, what you're going to be able to do is you're going to create your own profile. So I've created one here for Auto Agentic. Now, what does that mean? What that means is you're going to provide information about you and the company. You want to put in any branding information, you want to put in any key information, including things like your web address. This is going to be really important. So if you are working for a number of rooftops, for instance, you represent a group, you can create individual profiles for each store that you're working for. Now, once you go through each of these, you want to make sure that there's any key details. What are the things about your history? What are the things basically that are in your about section on your website, or that are going to be all inside of your, when you take a look at your HR documents and people are explaining, here's what you need to know about our rooftop. This is the kind of information you want to put in. But then what you're going to want to do is custom information too. This is how the responses will happen based on each individual profile that you establish. So do you want responses professional and knowledgeable, confident, solution oriented, all these different things? Put all of that in there. Now, one of the things that you can do is you can, if you don't have a lot of that information, you can literally go down to, for instance, growth marketing specialist, Alex, and you can type in your URL, bunch of information about your dealership, and ask Alex to create that profile for you. And then use that as a basis. And what Alex will do is they will research based on all of the inputs, all of the different URLs that you put in, and we'll start to create a summary that then you can edit. And this is the other important thing, regardless of what results that you get, you're going to notice a few things. First is when you do input a piece of information that you'd like to get back, Often the agents are going to ask you questions, and they're asking you questions because they want to get a much more refined answer. And this is why it's really, really important that you think of them as team members. If you were to walk into a boardroom and say, here's what I need, they're going to ask you a bunch of questions in the same way because they want to be able to make sure that they're getting you what you need. This is going to be something that you're going to see often, not always, but often. So as they're asking a bunch of questions, you're going to be able to go back and forth. And it doesn't matter what the answers are. Just like you're working with your team, you're still going to want to make some changes. You're going to want to adapt it. So feel free when you're going through. Don't just do a copy and paste. Take a look at it. It's going to get you where you need to get significantly faster. But now this is why you're an important piece to this team. The human intelligence part, the EQ part, the emotional quotient with AI as a team is really, really critical. So you've got amazing knowledge. You are not just relying on these agents to give you all the answers. What you're doing is you're relying on them as a team so that you can move faster and you're going to be able to get insights that maybe you didn't think of, but because of your experience, you're going to be able to now build on that and actually make it better. So it's you plus those 10 agents. That is that power team that is going to allow you to do far more quickly at a significantly higher level of quality in terms of the final output. So we are around to help answer any questions at all. And we have a knowledge base on autoagentic.ai that lists a whole host of different prompts that you can use in order to be able to get even more out of the system. And we're going to keep adding more and more prompts to that. But we're here to help you. So if you have any questions, just reach out to us. You can reach out to Barry at autoagentic.ai. And I promise you, I'm going to respond. I'm going to help you make sure that not only are you getting the most out of Autoagentic, we want you to be incredibly comfortable when it comes down to using AI. Okay. And again, thank you for giving us the time and the opportunity to be able to be part of your team and to be able to present Auto Agentic to your rooftop and your dealership.